A defiant demand to restore democracy has been met with a dramatic escalation in violence by security forces, and now the U.S. tightened export controls on Myanmar, imposing its latest sanctions in response to the junta's deadly violence against democracy protesters. State Department Spokesman Ned Price voiced outrage after more protesters were shot dead by the junta. Take a look.
Well, let me start by saying that we are deeply saddened by reports that security forces killed as many as 24 people yesterday, March 3rd. We strongly condemn the use of violence by Burmese security forces against the Burmese people, including peaceful protesters, to your point, Matt, journalists, and civil society. We continue to urge the Burmese military to exercise maximum restraint. This latest escalation in violence demonstrates the fact of the junta's complete disregard for their own people, for the people of Burma. It is unacceptable, and the world will continue to respond. The United States will continue to respond. We'll continue to respond in tandem with our partners and allies around the world. We call on the military to act peacefully and with respect for human rights, including the freedom of expression and peaceful assembly. These are two universal rights that are as applicable in Burma as they are anywhere else. There will be additional action on the part of the United States. We are, of course, aware of the reports that the military has charged additional journalists with crimes. We are deeply concerned about the increasing attacks and arrests of journalists. We call on the military to immediately release these individuals and to cease their intimidation and harassment of the media and others.
Secretary of State Antony Blinken said the U.S. was taking the latest measures in response to shocking and deadly violence against protesters in Burma. We call for the restoration of democracy in Burma, he wrote on Twitter, using Myanmar's former name. The Commerce Department said it was taking the measures and studying further actions in response to the military coup and escalating violence against the peaceful protesters. The new regulations affect exports to Myanmar's Ministries of Defense and Home Affairs, as well as two state-owned firms, Myanmar Economic Corporation and the Myanmar Economic Holding Limited.